This episode of the Marketing That Works podcast is brought to you by Anchor. If you haven't heard of Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast, period. Let me explain. It's what I make this podcast on. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm today to get started. I'm Drew Bedard, and this is Marketing That Works, a podcast about the tools, tips, and tactics that business owners and marketers need to wow their customers and grow their profits. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Drew Bedard here. I apologize. I did not release a podcast last week. It's been a little crazy at work, but good stuff, but very busy, which is exciting. But I do want to apologize to my audience who's out there. Who's waiting for these each week, but want to say thank you for listening as always. And I know I say this a lot of times at the end of the show, but if there's ever anything I can do, I just appreciate you listening. But if there's ever anything I can do for you, just hit me up on social media at Drew Bedard on Twitter and Instagram, and drewbedard@gmail.com. Be happy to answer any questions or help you out in any way. And as I have asked before, if you could share this with one person today who maybe text it to them, who may need to hear the topic for today or the lesson for today, and I would greatly appreciate it. So here's one that I think I've talked about before, but I just want to reiterate it because it's a direct tactic. It's an Instagram tactic. But it baffles me how many people are not using it, and they're wondering why they're not growing their accounts at all. So it's the 30 hashtag strategy. So this isn't rocket science. It's available to everyone. It's a simple thing to do, but a lot of people aren't utilizing it. And the 30 hashtag strategy essentially is Instagram gives you the ability within each post, each native post, to add up to 30 hashtags or @ tags. So @ tags being other people or other accounts. And they give you that ability with every single post. And of course, if you look at a lot of the experts and you look at a lot of the data out there, it is fairly obvious that you will grow at a faster rate if you use more hashtags that are, and I want to be specific here is to say not just any hashtag, but hashtags related to your industry, what you guys do, what your business does, what your audience is looking for, what your audience is searching for. So it's a very simple tactic, but again, a lot of people don't use it. So, but I want to give you a couple, extra pieces of advice. First one is use it and do it more often if you can. And the best place to look, the best place to find hashtags that relate to your industry, your business, your customer is a site that I've used before. It's called besthashtags.com, and that is best-hashtags.com. Now, the reason that this is beneficial is it gives you the ability to put in a keyword. On that keyword then will bring up a series of hashtags related to that keyword that you can then copy and paste. So it's really nice because it's going to take, it kind of groups all of them together, and I believe they give you 30 at a time, is that you're able to just copy and paste those into a note on your phone or into an Evernote document or something like that where you can keep on your phone at all times. Or on your desktop, because obviously with Instagram and Facebook, with the Creator Studio on Facebook, you're able to post to both Instagram and Facebook from the Creator Studio, which is another bonus tip there. If you haven't started doing that, I know for forever people were looking, I want to just post to Instagram and automate that from my desktop. Of course, there's a lot of automation tools like Buffer and others that are out there. And later, that's another one I've used. But if Facebook has it built in now. They got the Creator Studio built right in. So that, which is a wonderful feature, and it's really, really slick. So besthashtags.com, go to that site, type in a keyword, you'll find hashtags related. I would say analyze them, look at them, mix and match maybe a couple of the top results that you get to try to come up with a great list of hashtags that you can use. So there's a couple tips right off the bat. Go to besthashtags.com. Again, best-hashtags.com. That's a great site to go find them. The first one was fairly obvious, which was utilize this 30 hashtag strategy, because it will, I think there was a stat at one point that says you'll grow 11 times faster than if you didn't use them. So, and then the last tip that I wanted to give was, and this is one that I give to a lot of my friends, is don't use, the reason a lot of people don't use the hashtags is because it clutters up their posts, which I totally understand and I totally get. It makes it look kind of gaudy and ugly. So a lot of times what I do, because you can still get the power out of it, and this is what I advise people to do, is put the hashtags in the first comment. So do your native post, maybe use a couple of those hashtags in the original post just to, spice it up, whatever. But you take the first comment, and that's where you pump in the rest of your hashtags. And again, another reason to do this is the shareability of your post, is that if people share your post, which doesn't happen as often as I feel like it used to on Instagram, hopefully at some point they will figure that out. Obviously, Facebook has figured out that sharing a post and sharing a Facebook Live is so much better for the creator. So I'm really hoping Instagram figures that out at some point, but they really haven't. You have to download another app to do that. But I just wanted to mention it to say the shareability of a post is better if it's not cluttered up with a lot of hashtags in the original post. So use the first comment as the place where you put the hashtags and at tags in. So that's it for today. Just a simple Instagram tactic, but can really help with your growth. I hope it helps, and I hope you'll do it, because I see a lot of my friends and a lot of others, like, I'll look at people's posts and I'll look at people's accounts, and they just won't do it. And I think it's because a little bit of just kind of forgetfulness, but it's also because I think a lot of people just don't, they think it might clutter up their account too much. But, at the end of the day, if you're doing it for your business or you're doing it for a personal account, I mean, you want it to grow if there's a means to an end, if you're trying to get to some sort of destination with your Instagram account. If you don't want it to grow and you just posted family photos, no problem. Don't use this strategy. But if you're using it for business, and that's really what I'm assuming that, most of my audience that's out there is listening because they want, whatever it is, marketing and social media advice and tactics for growth and for sales and for branding and different things like that. So, again, I hope this is beneficial. Thanks. Maybe share it with one person today, and hopefully it will help everybody down the road. And use the strategy. I promise you'll see better results. Go to that website, get some hashtags, try it out. Even try it out in old posts. Go to the first comment in old post or a fifth comment in old posts and put the hashtags in and see if you can get a little bit of extra bump out of it. All right. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.